God's message today is one of eternal love, boundless grace, and unshakable truth, reminding us that His presence permeates every corner of existence and that His purpose for each of us is as vast and intricate as the universe He created. For He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the one who was, who is, and who is to come, and in His sovereignty, He calls us to live lives rooted in faith, hope, and love, trusting that His plans are higher than our plans, His ways greater than our ways, and His wisdom far surpassing all human understanding. He urges us to let go of the burdens that weigh heavy on our hearts, whether they be fear, doubt, guilt, or pain, and to place them at His feet, for His yoke is easy, and His burden is light, and in Him we find the rest our souls so desperately long for, a rest that cannot be found in the fleeting pleasures or distractions of the world but only in the stillness of His presence and the assurance of His promises, which are steadfast and true, a firm foundation upon which we can build our lives, even in the midst of uncertainty and adversity, for God, in His infinite mercy, sees beyond our flaws and failures, looking instead at the potential He has placed within us, the image of Himself that we bear, the spark of divinity that makes each of us uniquely precious and irreplaceable in His eyes, and He calls us not to dwell on our past mistakes but to rise again, to walk in the newness of life that He offers through the redeeming power of His grace, for His mercies are new every morning, and His faithfulness knows no end, and as we reflect on His goodness, we are reminded of the beauty and wonder of His creation, the heavens that declare His glory, the earth that testifies to His craftsmanship, and the countless blessings, both seen and unseen, that fill our days, from the rising of the sun to its setting, each moment a gift, each breath a testament to His sustaining power. And in this awareness, we are called to cultivate hearts of gratitude, to give thanks in all circumstances, knowing that even in our trials, God is working for our good, refining our character, deepening our faith, and drawing us closer to Him, for He is not a distant or indifferent God but an ever-present help in times of trouble, a shepherd who guides us through the darkest valleys, a Father who rejoices over us with singing, and a friend who sticks closer than a brother, and it is in this intimate relationship with Him that we discover the fullness of life, the joy that transcends circumstances, and the peace that surpasses all understanding. And yet, God's message is not only one of comfort but also of challenge, for He calls us to be His ambassadors, His hands and feet in a world that is often broken and weary, to love as He loves, to serve as He serves, and to shine His light in the darkest of places, for just as a city on a hill cannot be hidden, neither can the light of Christ within us be contained. And He urges us to let that light shine before others, that they may see our good works and glorify our Father in heaven, not for our own recognition or reward but for His glory alone. For it is only in Him that we find true fulfillment, only in Him that our lives gain eternal significance, and as we walk this path of faith, we are reminded of the greatest commandment: to love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love our neighbors as ourselves, a love that is not limited by borders, by differences, or by circumstances but is boundless, selfless, and sacrificial, reflecting the very nature of God Himself, who loved us so much that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish but have eternal life. And in this love, we find our identity, our purpose, and our calling, for we are not merely recipients of His grace but vessels through which it flows to others, instruments of His peace, and co-workers in His kingdom. And He reminds us that this kingdom is not of this world, that our hope is not anchored in earthly treasures or achievements but in the eternal reality of His presence, where every tear will be wiped away, every wound healed, and every longing fulfilled, for He is making all things new, and He invites us to be part of this renewal, to be agents of reconciliation, justice, and hope in a world that so desperately needs it, to speak truth and love, to extend mercy to the undeserving, and to stand firm in our faith, even when it is tested, knowing that the testing of our faith produces perseverance, and perseverance character, and character hope, and this hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit, who has been given to us, and it is through this Spirit that we are empowered to live lives that honor Him, to resist the temptations of the flesh, and to bear fruit that lasts, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, fruits that not only transform us but also impact those around us, drawing them closer to the source of all goodness and truth. And as we abide in Him, we are reminded that apart from Him, we can do nothing, but in Him, we can do all things, for He strengthens us, equips us, and goes before us, making a way where there seems to be no way. And His message today is also one of patience, urging us to wait upon Him, to trust in His timing, and to rest in the assurance that He is working all things together for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose, even when we cannot see it, even when the road ahead is unclear, for He is faithful, and He will do it. And so, as we meditate on His message, let us be still and know that He is God. Let us open our hearts to His leading, and let us commit to walking in obedience to His will, not out of obligation but out of love, knowing that His commands are not burdensome but are given for our good, and that in following Him, we find true freedom, true joy, and true life, for He is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through Him, and in this truth, we find our anchor, our hope, and our joy. And so, let us go forth today with hearts full of gratitude, hands ready to serve, and spirits attuned to His voice, carrying His message of love, grace, and hope to a world that needs it now more than ever, knowing that He is with us always, to the very end of the age. My beloved child, I love you more than words can express, and I am always with you, guiding and protecting you every step of the way. As you journey through life, remember that you are strong, capable, and resilient, and that you have the power to create the life you desire. Don't be afraid to dream big, to take risks, and to pursue your passions with all your heart. Remember that every experience, whether good or bad, is an opportunity for growth, learning, and evolution. Don't be too hard on yourself when you make mistakes. Instead, learn from them, and use them as stepping stones to success. Always remember that you are loved, you are valued, and you are enough, just as you are. Don't compare yourself to others. Instead, focus on your own unique journey, and celebrate your own successes and achievements. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination, and that every moment is a gift to be cherished and appreciated. Don't get too caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. Instead, take time to breathe, to reflect, and to connect with the world around you. Remember that you are part of something much bigger than yourself, and that every action, every decision, and every choice you make has the power to impact the world in a positive way. So go out there and make your mark, my beloved child, make a difference, leave a legacy, and shine your light for all to see. And always, always remember that I am with you, guiding and protecting you every step of the way, and that you are loved, you are loved, you are loved. A message of hope and inspiration. As we journey through life, we often encounter challenges that test our resolve, our faith, and our resilience. But even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. Hope that things will get better, hope that we will emerge stronger, and hope that we will find purpose and meaning in our lives. The power of positive thinking. The power of positive thinking cannot be overstated. When we focus on the good, when we choose to see the best in people and situations, and when we cultivate a mindset of gratitude and optimism, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We begin to see that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, every setback is a chance to learn and come back stronger, embracing our uniqueness. Each of us is unique, with our own strengths, weaknesses, talents, and experiences. And it's precisely this uniqueness that makes us special. When we embrace our individuality, when we celebrate our differences, and when we use our talents and abilities to make a positive impact in the world, we begin to live a life that is authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. The importance of self-care. Taking care of ourselves is essential for living a happy, healthy, and balanced life. When we prioritize self-care, when we make time for activities that nourish our mind, body, and spirit, and when we practice self-compassion and self-forgiveness, we become more resilient, more confident, and more capable of handling life's challenges. Cultivating meaningful relationships. The relationships we build with others are a vital part of our lives. When we cultivate meaningful connections with family, friends, and community, we create a support network that can help us through tough times, celebrate with us in good times, and provide a sense of belonging and purpose. Finding purpose and meaning. Finding purpose and meaning in life is a journey that is unique to each of us. When we discover our passions, our values, and our long-term goals, we begin to live a life that is directed, focused, and fulfilling. We start to make choices that align with our purpose, and we begin to make a positive impact in the world. Embracing change and uncertainty. Change and uncertainty are an inevitable part of life. When we learn to embrace change, when we become more adaptable and resilient, and when we focus on the present moment rather than worrying about the future or past, we begin to live a life that is more fluid, more flexible, and more at peace. Practicing mindfulness and gratitude. Mindfulness and gratitude are powerful practices that can help us cultivate a more positive, more resilient, and more fulfilling life. When we focus on the present moment, when we let go of worries about the past or future, and when we cultivate a sense of gratitude for all that we have, we begin to live a life that is more authentic, more meaningful, and more joyful. Conclusion. As we journey through life, let us remember that we are not alone. Let us remember that we have the power to choose how we respond to challenges, to cultivate positive relationships, and to find purpose and meaning in our lives. Let us remember to practice self-care, to embrace change and uncertainty, and to cultivate mindfulness and gratitude. And let us always remember that there is hope, that things will get better, and that we will emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before.